guess I kind of backed into music in a weird way. I didn't learn guitar until I was 18. I was an English major. I went through a couple of different majors. I had this professor, David Schloss, a poetry professor who's from New York, had a very thick accent. And I brought my guitar into class one day, like a few years after I taught myself to play, and I was headed down the path of being, I was a creative writing major, so I was going to be a poetry professor, basically, is what I was going to do with my life. And I didn't have any other plans, but I was playing in this band in college, and I brought my guitar in, and I read the poem as I wrote it, and I played it as a song, and he looked at me and said, yeah, I would do that instead of becoming a poetry professor. And so he kind of gave me the green light to try this out, and if I didn't do anything in a couple of years, then I could go back to doing whatever I was going to do. So, but I had some beginner's luck. I moved to Nashville. I made a record, even though I had not even been playing guitar that long. I made a record. This record company really liked it. They got a hold of it. They put it out. It came out in Europe and Canada and the US. And all of a sudden, this guy that barely could play guitar or didn't play music 2 years ago had a record in Best Buy. My parents were shocked. My family was like, "What the hell's going on? This is so weird." And then they bought my record. And my Aunt Lisa called me up and she's like, "Man, I listened to your whole record today. It was really good. It was like reading your journal. I can't believe it's all these stores and everything." She said, "By the way, it's good because it's really personal and kind of literary and stuff. But maybe for your next album, you should think about making at least one 'I Want to Do You' song. Because sex sells." And I was like, "I Want to Do You" song." Creepy thing for an Aunt Lisa to say. So I kind of just shelved that, way back in the recesses of my mind. I'm just repressed it somewhere back there. So moving on, next conversation topic. So I was traveling around the U.S. all the time, and we were going through Chicago because it's kind of in the middle, and we were crisscrossing all around. And my sister moved there after she got done with college, and I decided that we were going to pull the touring van over one day and surprise her. So we pulled the van over in Lakeview. I knocked on the door. My sister was not there, but her roommate Colleen answered the door. And for whatever reason, on that day, when Colleen answered the door, and I looked at her for the first time, that idea that my Aunt Lisa had put in my mind about the I Want to Do You song came out of repression and racing to the forefront of my consciousness. And I thought, now is my time to write this song. I'm feeling kind of inspired to do so. So I got back in the van. I kind of wrote most of the song. We were going that night somewhere in Wisconsin probably, and we sound checked with the song that night. We played it for the crowd. It became a part of our regular set list. Every night I just add some silly line to the song, trying to make my band members laugh, and they'd give me a hard time about Colleen. And eventually we wound our way back to Chicago, and had no idea when we went into our sold-out show at Shuba's that my sister and Colleen were going to be right there, and we could see them. And I got nervous, and I asked the band before we went on stage, "Hey, my sister's out there. That Colleen song was a lot easier to play when Colleen wasn't here, so maybe we could take it off the set list tonight." I don't know. So I asked them, they said, "Sure, no problem." And then what did they do? They came on stage and they launched directly into the song. They formed a little mutiny, and I had no choice but to sing it for her. So my anticipation of what my sister's reaction would be was correct. She looked mortified, and she was so I was embarrassing her, and but Colleen seemed to be into it, so I was and plus I had this song, so this is the song that, this is for all the Colleens out there. So, good luck. Well, I was on the front porch drinking the wine. Everybody's on me 'cause I have a good time, Colleen. Can't drink you off of my mind. And I'm a fire red cardinal, hanging outside weak in the knees. Oh, come on, Colleen. Even little birds got needs, Colleen. Say my name, Colleen. Make me feel like Billy Ocean.